Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. You are watching Something About Drea. I am Drea, and in today's video I'm just going to be sharing with you guys basically some tips on how to start your hair company. So if you guys care to hear this information, make sure you stay tuned and keep on watching. Alright you guys, so before I get started, I just want to let you know that if I start looking down, it's because I have my notes right here, and I just want to make sure I tell you guys everything that I had on my mind when I wrote this down. So let's get started. Tip 1 is to pick a name. Now you do want your name to be unique. You want it to stand out, but you also want your name to be marketable. All right, so I'm going to use my company for example. So the name of my hair company is called Sister Lengths. Now, when you hear Sister Lengths, you don't really know that it's a hair company. So I feel like it's very unique, and it also makes you want to go search Sister Lengths to really find out what it is. And I think that that makes me unique and marketable. And it also goes along with my branding, which I will talk about a little bit later. But you want to pick a name. Also, you want to make sure that the words that you use when picking your name, spell the words correctly. Like, it's a little bit ghetto to misspell everything purposefully just because, I don't know, it's a trend to misspell words, I guess. But you want to make sure that you spell the words correctly. And also, and this could be for any company that you decide to create, pick a name that has absolutely nothing to do with the products that you sell. So like, let's just use hair for an example. For a hair company, how many times have you seen luscious hair, beautiful hair, slayed hair, long hair? It has the word hair in it, so there's nothing about it that makes it stand out, if you know what I mean. So that would be my first tip. Decide on a name. So after you've picked your name, before you get excited and decide that this name is stuck with you and you can't give it up, you want to make sure that this name is available for your domain as well as your Instagram and your Facebook. You want to make sure that that name isn't taken, because if the name is taken, let's say it's not taken for a domain, but it is taken for Instagram, you will want the names to match, because it'll be easier for someone to find you if the names are the same across the board. Like, you don't want to have Sister Lengths as a website, but your Instagram is Luscious Beautiful Hair. Like, people will not associate them to being the same company, if that makes sense. So step 2 is you want to be able to, y'all, these don't have to be in the exact order, but this is just how I wrote it. But step 2, you want to build your website. Now, websites, they're actually easy to build. And if you're just starting, I would suggest not paying a graphic designer, just going ahead and using something like Wix, Shopify, Squarespace, even Big Cartel, maybe not. Use a website host where you can pick a layout and just make the changes yourself, because you don't want to go into business spending a whole lot of money and then you decide that you're not even as into it as you thought. So you want to keep your costs low when starting your business. And I use Squarespace for my website. Squarespace is like super easy to use. It has a great back office where you can see how many times your pages have been viewed, what are people viewing the most. You can also see if people abandon their cart, and there's a feature on Squarespace that when someone abandons their cart, that Squarespace will send an automated email to remind them, hey, you got this in your cart. So that is good. It's a way to make a sale, you know, for somebody who just simply forgot or put it in their cart and decided to wait till payday. It's like a little reminder. Shopify is a little bit cheaper than Squarespace, but like I said, Squarespace, Wix, and Shopify, those are the 3 platforms that I would research before I go into buying a web designer to put together this bomb website. And then in the long run, you have to spend more money because you don't know how to operate the back end of the website. So every time you want to change something, you will have to contact the web designer. And those fees, they could start adding up. And y'all, once you start putting out more money than you are making, it is super, super draining. Like, I know I've been there. So you live and you learn. Step 3, what I would suggest you do is find your hair vendor. Like I said, these steps, they don't have to be done in a certain order, but I mean, they have to be done. So I recommend that you find you a hair vendor. And I just want to say, when it comes to finding a hair vendor, you have to trust yourself, do your research, and, you know, follow your instinct. But that being said, finding a vendor is so much easier than people are making it out to be. I'm actually going to do a separate video on how I found my hair vendor. And it's actually really easy, y'all. If you just take your time to do the research, I suggest going on Google, Instagram, and searching the company or the vendor's website after you have found a vendor, and also WhatsApp. And WhatsApp is a free app on your phone that you use to communicate with vendors, you know, in another country. I will also say, be prepared to spend some money to find your vendor. If you're not willing to put in a couple $100s a month here and there, it doesn't have to be all at once, but if you don't have at least $100 a month to spend on a vendor, how are you going to find a vendor? Because you absolutely need, there is no way around you finding a vendor without spending money. Even if you decide to do drop shipping, you still want to test the hair before you decide that this is the company that you want to allow to send out products with your name attached to it. So be prepared that finding a vendor, you are going to have to spend money, but just be smart about it. Like, it's really easy. And like I said in the beginning, trust yourself, do your research, and finding a vendor is a piece of cake, trust me. And stay tuned, because I'm gonna have a video all about how to find a vendor, and I break it down for you step by step on what I did to find my vendor. Number 4 would be brand yourself. That means come up with a theme, a color scheme onto how you want to present your brand, how you want to market yourself. What do you want people to recognize your business as? And once again, I'll go back to my hair company, which is Sister Lens. I'm branded as a sorority. I want to be known for the world's first hair sorority ever. So that means I'm marketing as such. My colors and my logo, if you can see right here behind me, it looks like it would be a logo or symbol for a sorority. I didn't want to copy verbatim, you know, any sorority out there, because first of all, I believe it's like plagiarism or something if you do that. But if you go on my Instagram, you can see that I'm pretty much playing off of the theme of a sorority. My colors are orange, pink, and white. And I keep the same exact orange, the same exact pink all across the board. So make sure you have your colors coded. So that's another thing. Decide on what you want your colors to be and stick to those colors. You want, whether your logo is on a billboard, a sign on the road, whether it's on Instagram, Facebook, whether it's on a shoe, a t-shirt, you want people to see those colors and say, oh, that's so-and-so hair company right there. Like, I noticed the colors. Like, or I noticed the font. Keep the font, the colors, keep it the same all across the board. So that way your brand speaks and is able to be spotted in a room full of other brands. You want yours to be able to stand out. Another thing about branding is, I kind of touched on this a little bit earlier. Brand as if your company is something that it's not. So for example, once again, let me use, okay, let's say makeup. Perfect example. Let's say makeup. Let's say you wanted to sell lip gloss. Perfect. Okay, let's say you wanted to sell lip gloss. A good branding tip for lip gloss, just to use lip gloss as an example, is maybe you can brand like you're an ice cream brand. Like, brand like something that is not. Like, you're branded as if this is a popsicle, but it's actually lip gloss. So that means your packaging is going to look like a popsicle. Maybe the tube of the lip gloss is the popsicle and the stick of the lip gloss is the little wooden stick, but it's also the applicator for which you apply the lip gloss. So you want to brand as if your company is something that it's not, like a sorority. I'm not a sorority. I sell hair, but I'm branding like it's something that it's not. So I'm promoting sisterhood and unity, and I have a whole soror house, and my customers aren't customers, they're sisters. You know, in a sorority you have your big sis, your little sis, and you know, things like that. So you want to brand yourself well. So my last and final tip is to be unique and think outside of the box and have fun with your brand. That is the most important thing. If you're not excited about your brand, if you're not having fun, then you're not going to want to continue the work into put money into your business, because let's face it, if you got to keep putting money into something, it's got to be something that you absolutely really love and that you're having fun with. Otherwise, it's just not going to work out, because I know for me, I'm not going to continue put money into something that I just have no interest in. So that is my last and final tip, is to be unique and have fun with your brand and think outside of the box. Also, be willing to take risks, be prepared to spend a little bit of money. I'm not saying go broke trying to start your business, but be prepared to spend a little bit of money, especially, like I said, when it comes to finding a vendor. But I will give you some tips. I don't know when I'll have that video done, but I will be giving you some tips on how to find your vendor easily. And yeah, so that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Leave me some comments down below on what you guys want me to cover next. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.